What's up, everybody? It's Caressa Brown, owner and director of DeFi Global Inc. And once again, I'm here at the House of Defiance. I'm exhausted because you know what I've been doing the past 2 hours? Not DeFi work, but community work. Want to pop on real quick just to kind of share a little bit what I've had going on over the past year. As you guys all know, DeFi is a volunteer-led community outreach initiative. Everyone in DeFi has a day job. Everyone in DeFi is involved in their community. And then there's DeFi that we work on when we try to schedule things out and plan things out. But this morning I was doing work in my community. If you don't know, I am co-chair of the Jefferson Township Local School District School Levy, which I've been doing for over a year, literally a year this time. I was heavy, like literally during a weekend of defiance in March last year, I was heavy doing work with the school levy there as well. At the same time, I'm the vice chair of the Jefferson Township Board of Zoning Appeals, and last year I was the chair. They tried to keep me on this chair this year, but I was like, you know what, I have too much going on. But I said all that to say this, was out canvassing neighborhoods this morning, upcoming election. I'm probably going to go vote this afternoon too. So if you are registered to vote, I don't care who you vote for, as long as you stand by it and believe in it, go ahead and get your vote on. So one of the things that we're trying to address this year with DeFi, again, we're an organization, it's an ever-evolving organization. We work on what our talent asks us to work on, or we address the needs of our talent. And when DeFi first launched, our model incubator was like our bread and butter for our organization. And then, was it 2016-ish? I started working in Columbus at Ohio State. And so we had to switch up how we did our model incubator. And I was at Ohio State till 2020. And of course, that's when the pandemic happened. And things really changed. The industry really changed. And we were getting a lot of inquiries like, when's the model incubator coming back? We had actually created DeFi Models as an agency in 2022-ish when we were at the mall, when House of Defiance was at the mall. And it was kind of a, let's test it out, see if it actually, if it's worth the effort. One of the reasons why I've always kind of stayed away from being an actual modeling agency is because this region, there's not a lot of work. And we try to do things as close to the industry as we possibly can. And there's the agencies that are in the area, mostly Cincinnati, Columbus. I'm not super familiar with any modeling agencies in Dayton, any legitimate modeling agencies in Dayton anyway. But there's some modeling agencies, Columbus, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Cleveland, I believe. And I don't like let's put it like this. I want to do things as the industry is. And one of the things that I've noticed with some of the agencies in Ohio is they literally take just about anybody who walks through their doors. There's no discernment. There's no real development of the talent. There's no, it just doesn't sit well with me. Because, and one of the reasons that they do this, and there's a couple of agencies that I would say are legit, but they take everyone in and they're not developing their talent, and they take them in simply because there's a way that you can legitimately take all these models and charge fees to be on their website, and they do that to cover their overhead. Meanwhile, talent's not getting developed. In this one specific agency out of Cincinnati, I see it all the time. They have their models posting castings. I'm like, if you are an agent, it's your job to be scouting and casting and bringing these people in. But you have over a thousand models signed to your agency, and not a single one of those models fit the casting needs. And so that's a huge problem that I have with local agencies. The legitimate fees for agency are only to be on their website in this area. Again, one of the things we teach in our model incubator is if you're in a larger market, New York, Chicago, Miami, there are some other fees that are there. But basically, it's like if you're put up in a model house or they front the money for you to get a photo shoot, you have to pay that money back. We don't push models to get their portfolio built unless they're signed. If you are not signed to an agency, unless you just want to freelance, there's literally no reason for you to have a portfolio. Because what's going to happen, if you spend thousands of dollars or you do a bunch of TFP prints with people trying to build their portfolios as well, photographers, hair and makeup artists, it's going to benefit the photographer and hair and makeup artist more than it's going to benefit you, especially if they are just learning, not super established. But what happens, each market, when it comes to modeling agencies, has a look that they're going for. If you don't spend thousands of dollars getting your portfolio built or made, doing all these different photo shoots, and you're signed to an agency, guess what? 99.9% of the time, they're going to throw that portfolio away, and they're going to build you up from scratch in the way that their market needs you. So that's another reason why, like, some of these people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you comfortable in front of the camera. No, I'm gonna teach you how to pose." No, that's just not. That's just not essential to be signed. Especially depending on your market. And a lot of these poses that I see a lot of these model coaches doing and teaching their models, even if you went to Chicago, which is a very print heavy market, those images ain't gonna float. Those poses that they have you doing ain't gonna float. It's very much catalog based. And yeah, in New York, you're gonna have a lot more glamour, runway. Miami's gonna be more swimsuit. I mean, it's just, each market has something different. But I said all that to say this. We tested it out in 2022 just to see how the market was going to work. And we did have defined models we signed. I think we had like maybe that first casting or open calls season we had maybe 40, 50 models show up. And out of those 40, 50 models, we signed 12. And because we were testing the market out, part of our modeling agreement is like, look, again, we're very transparent. We're going to give you 30, 90, and maybe 6 months. And you can determine if this is worth what, if you think that you're getting to work, if it's not really working out for you. And within 90 days, almost every model signed the 6-month contract. Within 90 days of signing the models and just seeing how the market was in terms of jobs and castings and opportunities, it just was not worth the time and effort to have a modeling agency. Because again, you have to keep in mind, we were at this 15,000 square foot space at the mall. Which had photography studio, model lounge, computer lab, small batch manufacturing. We had retail area. We had sewing workshops and all of those things going on, while also trying to get, also part of the CFDA Connect at that time and learning things. And we were doing some restructuring just based on some of the things we had learned and wanted to secure our foundation. It was just taken away. So we ended up canceling all of the models contracts in 2022 just because it was just a drop and a lot of work for that drop of work for models. So in 2024, we brought back the model incubator. And aside from everything I do in the community, working, DeFi stuff, I am also a caregiver. And my mom had gotten sick. And it was just an exhausting time. Trying to figure out when, then my dad got sick. My mom has multiple sclerosis. And she'll be 80 this year. My dad at the time was just recovering from renal cancer. And then they found an issue with his heart. So I kind of had to put a lot on hold with the magazine. Oops, I sleep with my mom. My mom's calling me right now. Mommy, I'll call you back. No, she's probably worried because she knew I was out canvassing neighborhoods. She's like, be careful pulling into people's driveways. And believe me, I was terrified to pull in some of these people's driveways because I live in the country and you hear about these crazy people that just start shooting folks for just turning around in their driveway. So I'll call her in a minute. But December 2024, we had casting models and we're preparing to shoot for a Weekend of Defiance, which is supposed to be in 2024, December. Then my dad had got sick and put him in the hospital, and we were trying to determine and wait to see if he was going to actually need heart surgery. So we ended up pushing the Weekend of Defiance to March 2025, which is when we shot the magazine. And then all craziness broke out on my day job, and it was just a lot going on. And I just, sometimes that's why I tell people we are a real-time industry in incubator, because we all have day jobs, we all have things going on, and then my mom got sick again. And it was just a lot. So it took some time for us to actually get back on track and just kind of going through the process and following things through. Business wise, we had some people not follow through on their end. I hold up to their end of some deals. So just kind of navigating what it's like behind the scenes. And that's one of the reasons why in 2026, it's 2026, I don't even know what year it is, but that's one of the reasons why we're going to be a lot more transparent and just kind of I think we're transparent in terms of what we're doing, but in actually it's reading it versus actually seeing it and hearing the words is a completely different thing. And so with the model incubator, I know I've said that several times. I'm just circling the airport because I got time to kill today. But no, I don't. But we are restructuring the model incubator because in that time when we brought the model incubator in September, we were going to try to do once a month, one Saturday a month with some things over a course of several months. And again, being on the school levy, which the levy failed in May 2025. It failed in November 2025. And now we're up again this May 2026. Just a lot. And my cup wasn't empty, but I was making sure my cup didn't get empty. So it took some time. And so what we're doing, we're restructuring the model incubator, because when we first launched, and this is kind of the point that I was trying to get to begin with, it was kind of like a 1 or 2 day thing. We did all the workshops, we did everything, or it never took more than a week, let's put it like that. And we're trying to go back to that. I don't see us having the model incubator this year, simply because our year is already full with the Farm to Fashion, STEM Atelier, the DeFi table, Odessa School of Fashion, those things. Our schedule is really full with that right now. And so maybe late 2026, we are going to probably have the model incubator return in terms of castings. And then we'll probably shoot off the model incubator as a 3-day program in 2027. We got some things going on. We're working to get some major scouts to the area. If you're familiar with Model Palooza, which is our sand volleyball tournament where we work with models and bring scouts, it's just a networking thing. I'm an old school fashion head. There used to be this thing called Model Palooza. Back in the day, MTV was all fashion. And so the top agencies would will have their models would compete in a sand volleyball tournament. And it was also a scouting event for the agencies. So, and we've done Model Palooza twice since 2017. The first year it kind of was cold out and just kind of figuring out the right time of the year to have it. And then we had it in July, I think in 2022-ish, 2021. Hot as all get out. It was so miserable. And so we're planning, the goal is to bring it back in 2027. And again, these things take time, organization, takes money. So if you want to sponsor it, hello, help us out. Look us, get on the website, check it out. So yeah, just wanted to pop on, talk about what we're doing with the models. And yeah, next week I'll be in Cincinnati. Got a couple of events going on in Cincinnati, and rumor has it, we're going to have a fashion show in July in Cincinnati. But you did not hear that from us. You definitely didn't hear from me. What do you defy? First flight, now fashion.